All right, so get ready because we're taking a deep dive today
Oh, I'm excited.
into the world of relationships.
Always fascinating.
We're looking at this document.
Right?
It's called Bending Toward Your Partner versus Playing a Game of Toxic Chicken.
Hmm. That's quite a title.
Yeah, and it really got me thinking,
About.
about how couples kind of, navigate
Yeah.
all those emotional needs and stuff.
Right, how they respond to each other. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. But are they building each other up?
right.
Or are they kind of creating these
These conflicts.
these big divides?
Yeah, I see that.
So the document starts with this whole
Okay.
idea of bending towards your partner.
Bending toward.
Yeah, you made me think of like literally bending.
Oh, physically.
Yeah, like bowing.
You know.
Oh, like a sign of respect.
Right, exactly. Like acknowledging someone.
That's interesting.
But the document seems to be saying that it's not about
Oh,
like physically, lowering ourselves.
right. Not literally bowing.
Yeah, it's more about like more symbolic.
Yeah, being open emotionally
Okay.
and receptive to our partner.
I like that.
So like, meeting them
Mm-hmm.
where they're at emotionally,
Even if it's
even if it's tough.
uncomfortable,
Yeah, uncomfortable for us.
stepping outside that comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really powerful.
So is this where that whole idea of turning towards
Mm-hmm.
comes in?
It could be.
I've heard that phrase before,
Mhm.
but I'm not really sure
Yeah.
how this document is using it.
Well, I think it's definitely a core concept here. So
Okay.
they explain turning towards
Okay.
as like responding in a positive way.
Okay.
Your partner's bids for connection.
Bids for connection.
Yeah. And these can be like anything from
Oh,
simple requests for help to sharing feelings.
so it's like,
Yours be small
it's not just about,
or big.
yeah, those big gestures.
Right. Not just say, I love you.
Yeah, or like planning,
Grand gestures.
yeah, a big trip or something.
Right. It's about those everyday moments.
Mhm.
Oh, so it's like really acknowledging.
Yeah, just being present.
Yeah. And engaging with our partner.
Exactly, even in small ways.
I see.
They actually bring in this
Okay.
relationship expert, Dr. John Gottman,
Ah, God, man.
to illustrate this point.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's done tons of research.
Yeah, didn't he like study
Relationship.
like what makes them,
What makes or breaks them.
yeah, thrive or fail or something?
Right, exactly.
Right.
And he
That's
found,
interesting.
this is key to the whole document,
Okay.
he found that couples who consistently turn towards each other, they tend to have happier and
Right.
more successful relationships.
So it's like building up that goodwill and trust.
It's like making deposits
Oh, I like that.
in the emotional
Yeah.
bank account.
Right. So then when things get tough,
Yeah, you have that reserve to draw on.
yeah, you've built up that strong foundation.
Exactly.
But what about when we don't turn towards each other?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is that where that toxic chicken thing comes in?
Mm.
Yeah, that's exactly where it comes in.
Okay, so instead of responding to
Mm-hmm.
those bids for connection,
Right. Those little attempts.
yeah, we're like ignoring them
Or dismissing them.
or even pushing back.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like
Like that classic,
those two cars.
yeah, speeding towards each other.
Yeah, and no one wants to swerve.
Right, hoping the other one will chicken out.
And in a relationship, I mean,
Oh, it can be disastrous.
yeah, it can be like a head-on collision.
Exactly, those little moments build up
Right, and then boom.
and create a huge explosion.
Yeah, big fight.
So the document says this chicken game often comes from
Okay.
fear of vulnerability.
Mm.
We want to protect ourselves.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or maybe even a need to,
To win,
win the argument.
no matter the cost.
Even if it hurts the relationship.
Oh, that sounds so...
Yeah.
And the document is very clear,
Mm-hmm.
the consequences of this.
Okay.
They say, turning away from your partner's bids for connection.
Can really hurt the relationship.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It can lead to a breakdown.
Okay, well, this has been...
A lot to think about.
Yeah, so much good stuff so far.
We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we've talked about bending towards our partner
That's right.
and turning towards...
As ways to,
build those connections.
yeah, a strong connection.
And then we talked about the opposite,
Yeah.
playing that toxic game of chicken,
Right, where we're,
ignoring those bids
yeah, turning away from each other.
and pushing each other away.
Yeah, creating all that distance.
And conflict.
Yeah, so how do we break free from that?
That's the big question.
Yeah, and how do we start bending toward...
Towards a stronger connection.
Right.
That's what we'll explore
Yeah, that's what we'll get into.
in the next part
Yeah, in part 2.
of this deep dive.
I can't wait.
Me either.
Yeah.
So we talked about turning away and how bad it can be for relationships.
Right, like it's a recipe for disaster.
But how about the flip side?
What can we do to bend towards our partners?
Yeah. I want to know, like,
I mean, the document actually
Yeah.
offers some practical steps.
oh, perfect, because sometimes I feel like it's hard to recognize those bids for connection.
Yeah, they can be subtle.
Yeah, and life gets so busy.
Absolutely. And that's why the document talks about this thing
Yeah.
called emotional attunement.
Emotional attunement.
Yeah, it's about being more aware
Mm.
of our partner's emotional state.
So, like, being able to read their...
Yeah, like being an emotional detective
I like that.
and then responding
Okay.
with empathy and understanding.
So even if they're not saying, like...
Hey, I need attention.
Yeah, exactly.
We can still pick up on their cues.
Yeah, like their tone of voice,
Mm-hmm.
their body language, even just their energy.
Interesting.
So the document suggests active listening,
Oh, active listening.
Yeah.
I've heard that term before.
but it's really important.
Yeah, how does it work?
So it's not just hearing the words.
Okay. It's really engaging with the message.
So like showing that you're
Yeah, being present,
present and paying attention.
making eye contact,
Oh, okay.
nodding along,
Yeah.
asking questions.
So showing that you're trying to understand.
Exactly, not just passively listening.
Got it. And what about validation?
Oh, that's huge.
How does that fit in?
Even if we don't agree,
Good.
we can still validate their feelings.
I struggle with that.
Yeah,
Like
it's hard to
sometimes I want to jump in and,
fix it.
yeah, or offer my perspective.
Right, but often they just need to feel heard.
Yeah. I need to remember that.
So validation is just saying,
Okay.
I hear you, I see your feeling, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
So it's like creating a safe space.
Exactly, where they can be vulnerable.
Ooh, vulnerability.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's scary.
It is. It takes courage.
Yeah, to let your guard down.
But it's essential for deep connection.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we really
Yeah, let people see us.
let people see us for who we are.
Flaws and all.
And hopefully they still accept us.
Exactly, and that acceptance.
Makes us feel safe.
Yeah, safe to share our deepest selves.
So how do we actually...
Become more vulnerable.
Yeah.
It can be sharing our feelings, honestly, or expressing our needs directly.
So instead of expecting them to just be a mind reader,
Yeah,
we have to actually tell them.
exactly. Be upfront.
Yeah.
Clear and assertive.
Okay, so communication is key.
Absolutely. The document also talks
I
about
look at-
mutual regulation.
Mutual regulation. What's that?
It's about being aware of our own emotional state
Okay.
and learning to self-soothe.
Oh, so like managing our own...
Yeah, our own baggage.
Right. Not always expecting our partner to...
Fix it.
Yeah, to fix everything.
Right. We have to take responsibility.
That's good for us too.
Absolutely. It makes us stronger individuals.
Yeah, and then it creates
It's a stable dynamic.
Right, because if one person's always...
Dysregulated.
Yeah, it puts a strain on the other person.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, so mutual regulation is about...
Managing our own emotions,
Okay.
but also being attuned to our partners.
So like being there for them
Right. Offering support.
when they need it.
Exactly. Being a safe harbor
Oh, I like that.
for each other.
Like a team?
Right. Weathering the storms together.
That makes me think about attachment theory.
Oh, good point.
Like, does that play into this?
Absolutely. So attachment theory
Okay.
explores those bonds we form,
Right.
and secure attachment,
Okay.
where there's trust and safety,
Right.
aligns perfectly with this bending towards idea.
So when we feel secure
We're more likely to respond positively.
to those bids for connection,
Exactly.
and that strengthens the bond.
The beautiful cycle.
But what about insecure attachment?
Ah, that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Because then we might see those bids as threatening.
Oh, so we might push back.
Yeah, or withdraw.
And that's where that toxic chicken...
Exactly.
Oh.
Right. If both partners are insecure, it can lead to a lot of conflict.
This is so interesting.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like we're really getting into...
The depths of relationships.
Yeah, the nitty-gritty.
But there's still more to explore.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, we haven't talked about what to do
Oh.
if we struggle with bending towards
Especially if we have those.
insecure attachment patterns.
Yeah, that's me.
So we'll get into that
Okay.
in the next part.
Sounds good.
We'll talk about building resilience,
I'm ready.
both individually and as a couple.
Okay, so in the last part,
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about how
Yeah.
insecure attachment can make it tough
Right.
to really bend towards our partner.
It can create barriers.
Yeah. So what do we do?
Well, the document says
Okay.
changing those patterns,
Yeah.
especially those deep-rooted ones,
Wow.
takes time
Okay.
and effort.
So it's not like a,
Quick fix.
yeah, not a magic wand.
No, it's a journey.
Oh, so it's about personal growth.
Absolutely. And being willing
Yeah.
to challenge our own defenses.
Our defenses.
Yeah. Those walls we put up.
Right. So we have to be willing to,
No.
yeah, be vulnerable.
Exactly.
So the document says,
Yeah.
building a secure attachment style.
Mm-hmm. Within ourselves.
That's the key.
It's the foundation.
Yeah, like that saying,
Oh, yeah.
you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly. If we're not taking care of ourselves,
Yeah.
we can't show up for our partner.
Makes sense. So how do we?
Fill our cups.
Yeah.
Well, one way is self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
Yeah, reflecting on our patterns, our triggers.
Like figuring out,
Yeah, where those insecurities come from.
right, and how they affect us.
Exactly. The document suggests
Okay.
things like journaling,
Okay.
meditation, even therapy.
So really digging deep.
Yeah, shining a light on those shadowy parts of ourselves.
I like that. And then,
once we're aware,
okay.
we can start practicing
Okay.
self-compassion,
Self-compassion.
being kind to ourselves.
Oh, that's hard.
It is, especially when,
When we mess up.
yeah, in relationships.
Yeah, like I'm my own worst critic.
But the document says
Oh,
we need to be our own cheerleaders.
yeah, give ourselves a break.
Exactly. Offer ourselves grace.
Because we're human.
We are. We all make mistakes.
And that self-compassion,
Mm-hmm.
it extends to our partner too.
Oh, absolutely.
So like even when they mess up,
yeah, we can still be understanding.
the document talks about
Yeah.
a growth mindset.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
But how does it apply to
Yeah.
relationships?
So instead of thinking
Yeah.
our qualities are fixed,
Hmm.
we see challenges as opportunities,
To grow.
yeah, to learn and grow together.
Oh, so instead of blaming each other,
Right.
we try to understand.
Exactly, and support each other.
I see. So it's about
Yeah.
embracing those imperfections.
Seeing them as areas for growth.
Yeah, and not deal breakers.
That's huge.
So it's like approaching the relationship with this curiosity
Yeah.
and a willingness to,
Yeah, to learn and grow together.
because we're all works in progress.
But that's not always easy.
You know, it's not.
There will be times when,
We slip up.
yeah, we fall back into old patterns.
It's natural.
So we need to be
Face it.
patient with ourselves and our partner.
Exactly. And forgiving.
Forgiveness.
Yeah, letting go of those resentments and grudges.
Because
They
they just create more
distance.
distance and pain.
Yeah, holding on doesn't help.
Speaking of letting go,
Yeah.
what about those repair attempts?
Oh, good one.
Like after a fight?
Yeah, the document mentions those too.
So what are some ways?
To make those repairs,
Yeah.
it can be a simple apology
Okay.
or a deeper conversation.
About what went wrong.
Exactly, and how to do better.
So taking responsibility,
Mm-hmm. Owning our mistakes.
even if we didn't mean to hurt them.
Right, intention matters.
And being open to,
To receiving those repairs.
yeah,
From our partner.
even if it takes time to forgive.
Wow. This has been,
Eye-opening.
yeah, so much to think about. We've covered so much.
Yeah, from bending towards
To self-awareness.
to growth mindset.
It's all about connection.
Yeah, choosing connection over conflict.
Putting the we before the me.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you want listeners to remember?
I think it's that bending towards
Yeah.
isn't about losing yourself.
Right.
It's about choosing to show up
Yeah.
with empathy, vulnerability.
And that willingness to grow.
Exactly, both as individuals.
And as a couple.
It's about nurturing that connection
Even when it's hard.
because that's what true intimacy is.
Well said. I think that's a perfect,
Way to end.
yeah, a perfect note to end on.
Keep exploring. Keep choosing love.
Until next time, keep